Well, hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hey, a few days ago I went out for a bike ride with my friend Steve, and we went on one of our favorite neglected trails that are out there, and we were able to clear a lot of the logs that were falling across the path. There was one log though that was so large we couldn't really move it, so I have to get my chainsaw out and get that one cut up and pulled off to the side. So I just wanted to show how I use my CyRusher XF900 bike here with a saw press that I mount on to get a chainsaw on here. So to mount this, what I do is I just got two little U-bolts. These are about maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches in depth here. I'm going to mount it at two different locations here, and then I'm going to put another one on here. So let me go ahead and see if I can show how I do that. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm pushing it up through some foam because I don't like the idea of this metal rubbing this metal bike rack that's here. So once I've got the U-bolt up under there started nicely like this, I'll go ahead and get a couple flat washers, stick them on here, and I've got some 7/16 inch head bolts here that I'll go ahead and start. I have that one on right. Not a problem. Get that on there. There we go. Okay, so once I have these bolts on, I'll go ahead and put my ratchet wrench on here and tighten these down nice and snug. And this is where that foam comes into play. You know, it's nice having it there because it helps, you know, set the tension a little bit on the bolts. All right, so once I got that tightened on there, you know, I'm just checking for snug here. I'm not going really far. I'm just going a few miles. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this now. I've gotten my bolts tightened up here. So the saw press kit comes with the securing mount here. Okay, you've got to put this together in this way, shape, or form so you can actually pivot this to turn. Okay, and then the saw blade would go inside here, and then you'd lock it down. I'll show that later. But that component there all comes. You have to get your own U-bolts here and figure out how to mount it to your bike. But I think the best trick is to use some kind of, you know, rubber-based insulation to you know, put a nice seal between the saw press and the bike rack so that you don't get scratching on that. But once you have that, that should be it. So let me grab my saw. All right, so for this saw, I'm using my my WORX saw that I've upgraded to an 18-inch bar. I've also put a little bungee cord on here. I've got an Oregon 18-inch bar on here. Works out really well. Instead of using the regular 2-amp batteries with this, I'm going to use my 4-amp batteries, which works a lot better. So time to put it on. We'll go ahead and set the saw in here like this. There's a pad here that you can rest the saw on. Okay, once the saw is rested, close the clamp, squeeze it up a little bit, bring this tie down nut over. Once it's over, then secure it. Okay, so this is where I kind of really go to town on that. I put a lot of tension here because as I'm bike riding, this will go up and down quite a bit in the woods. Now, as I'm doing this, you can see it's bouncing around here a little bit. I could probably put another U-bolt over here, but so far I've not really found that I've had to do that. I'll probably go ahead and tighten these other bolts up a little bit before I go setting out. Okay, so that's more or less it. I always want to make sure my oil is full in the chainsaw. Also, I'll make sure I have 2 batteries in there. As I said before, I've got my chain guard retainer here on. That seems to work well with it. and just put my batteries on. With that, I'm ready to go back out in the woods and do what damage I can to that tree that's fallen on that neglected trail that I enjoy riding on. Okay, here we go. This is the spot my friend Steve and I noticed that we had a significant tree fall blocking the trail. As you can see, it's pretty significant. So I'm going to go ahead and stop here and show you the steps I take to get my chainsaw involved to take care of this bad guy. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at what it takes to get this saw off of my bike carrier here. Alright, so I've got a couple hooks back here that I'm just using to unsecure it from the bike rack. When you go through the woods, there are a lot of bangs and bumps that come along, so I tend to overdo it a little bit. What I do with this is I put my spare batteries in here. Set those to the side. And to get the saw press off, it's very easy to do. Just unscrew this retainer. Okay, pop them off and you can see it comes off. I'm going to take my chainsaw guard off now. It comes off with a little bit of bungee cord. Set that here. I've already oiled up my saw. I've got two new 6-amp batteries in here. You can see my charges are fully indicated here. 3 and 3 equals, well, not quite 5. All right, so not quite fully charged, but that's why I bring extra batteries. So let's have it go. All right, so coming up to this log, the first thing I like to do is look for a place to undercut. I think I can undercut it somewhere in this area. That'll help it fall. Yeah, I can feel that pinching the bar already a little bit. So now what I like to do is just come over to the top side, look for my mark. It's going to be about here. It's just that easy to cut. Alright, I'm going to move this log out of the way. My bike's in the way, so I'm going to move my bike back a little bit. Because once I cut this, it's going to want to fall down. I know it's going to pinch the top of the saw. Normally I like to cut underneath first, but in this case I'm going to cut the top first. Without it pinching me. Okay, here we go. So it's starting to roll there. Okay. wanted to do it. I'll take it. I'm going to go ahead and take the saw back on the saw press. My battery bank started out at 4. I'm down to 3 now. I could have probably cut another set of logs just like that again. So just to give you an idea what these 4-amp batteries will do. Go ahead and set him on there. Bungee up around, clamp this guy in, tighten him down. It's flopping around a little bit because of the saw case. We'll take it. Okay, I got my battery bag here. I'm gonna hang him up on here and secure him down. Found these little Night Eyes cam lockers. They seem to be pretty good. You can kind of use this cam here to release the cord and then reset the length if you want. I hardly ever use it, but it's a nice feature to have. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just use the bungee as much as I can, stretch it, bring it back down. It's fairly secure. And then what I do with the bottom of my battery bag is use a couple of these fasteners here to help hold it in place as well. Double knotted that should hold. It's not a lot of weight in those batteries. It should be good. Alright, well thanks for watching everybody. I now got to take my 10-minute ride out of here. But I think in the end, did a good job and we opened up this trail. You can see that there's other places I've cut logs before, up the trail further, and likely back down the trail much further there I've cleared out. So now we can have a neglected trail that's disused and now be able to use it for fun and enjoyment for a wide variety of people. Well, thanks for watching everybody. We'll see you next time.